Welcome back to The Elderly Health Physician, the show where we bring you the wisdom of Korean medicine combined with the best of modern science to help you thrive after 60. My name is John, and I am so glad you are here today, because this episode could genuinely change the way your mornings feel from this point forward. We are going to talk about something that affects millions of seniors, and almost nobody talks about it honestly. Hand tremors. That shaking in your fingers when you try to pour your coffee. That embarrassing wobble when you sign your name at the bank. That frustrating moment when you cannot thread a needle or button your shirt the way you used to. If that sounds familiar, you are not imagining it, and you are definitely not alone. Studies published in the Journal of Global Health estimate that nearly 6% of adults over 65 experience essential tremor. And among those over 80, the number climbs to almost 10%. But here's the part that shocked me. Most people just accept it. They assume it is just aging and there is nothing they can do. That is exactly why I called in the man who has spent over 40 years treating seniors and studying the ancient principles of Korean medicine that have kept generations living strong. Korea's oldest practicing physician, Dr. Henry Lee. Doctor, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, John. I am always glad to be here. And I want to tell you something before we begin. This topic is very close to my heart because I see patients every single week who come to me with tears in their eyes over this exact problem. Hand tremors are one of the most misunderstood and most neglected conditions in seniors today. People come into my office and they say, "Doctor, my hands shake. Is this Parkinson's disease?" And most of the time the answer is no. The vast majority of hand tremors in people over 60 are what we call essential tremor or aging-related tremor. It is not a death sentence. It is not a sign that your brain is failing. But it is a signal. It is your nervous system telling you that the connection between your brain and your hands needs attention. And the beautiful thing is that in Korean medicine, we have understood this for centuries. The hands are not separate from the body. They are the end point of a chain that begins in the brain, travels through the spine, runs down the arms, and finishes at the fingertips. When that chain weakens, the signal gets noisy. That noise is what you feel as tremor. Now here is what most doctors will not tell you. You do not need medication to quiet that noise. You do not need surgery. What you need are 4 specific exercises that wake up the pathways between your brain and your hands. I have used these with my patients for decades, and the results are remarkable. Some patients notice improvement in as little as 7 days. Today, I am going to walk you through all 4 of them, step by step. The first 2 target the hand and wrist directly. The last 2 work on the deeper nerve pathways that most people completely ignore. And I will tell you right now, it is the last 2 that make the biggest difference. Let me start with the first exercise. I call it the controlled fist sequence. This is the foundation. Before you can steady your hands, you need to rebuild the grip strength that you have been losing year after year without realizing it. A study published in the journal Neurology followed over 300 adults over 60 with essential tremor for 12 weeks. Those who performed daily grip strengthening exercises saw a measurable reduction in tremor amplitude. That means the shaking literally became smaller. Here is how you do it. You sit in a comfortable chair. Place both hands on your thighs, palms facing up. Now slowly curl your fingers into the tightest fist you can make. Squeeze as hard as you can. Hold that squeeze for 5 full seconds. Then open your hands completely, spreading every finger as wide as possible. Hold that open position for 5 seconds, then squeeze again. You do this 10 times. Fist, hold, open, hold. 10 repetitions on each hand. That is 1 set. I want you to do 2 sets every single morning before you even get out of bed. I had a patient once, a 72-year-old retired school teacher named Margaret from Busan. She came to me because she could no longer write letters to her grandchildren. Her handwriting had become so shaky that even she could not read it. She was devastated. She thought her hands were gone forever. I started her on this fist sequence every morning, just 2 sets of 10. Within 2 weeks, she called my office crying. She said, "Dr. Lee, I wrote a full-page letter yesterday and my granddaughter could read every word. That is the power of simply waking up the muscles that have gone dormant." Now the second exercise builds on the first. I call it the slow wrist circle. Most people do not realize that tremor does not just come from weak fingers, it comes from unstable wrists. Your wrist is the bridge between your forearm and your hand. If that bridge is shaky, everything downstream shakes with it. Research published in the European Journal of Neurology showed that targeted wrist mobility exercises improved fine motor control in seniors by more than 30% over an 8-week period. Here is the exercise. Extend your right arm straight in front of you at shoulder height. Make a loose fist, not tight, just gently closed. Now rotate your wrist very slowly in a clockwise circle. I mean slowly. Each complete circle should take about 3 seconds. Do 10 circles clockwise, then 10 circles counterclockwise. Then switch to the left hand and repeat. The key word here is slow. When you rush this movement, your muscles compensate with jerky motions that actually reinforce the tremor pattern. When you go slowly, you force your brain to engage with every degree of rotation. You are literally retraining the neural pathway. I treated a 68-year-old retired carpenter named Seung Ho. His hands had been his livelihood for 40 years, and suddenly he could not hold a cup of tea without spilling it. He was angry. He was frustrated. He told me he felt useless. I gave him this wrist circle exercise and told him to do it every morning with his tea sitting on the table in front of him. I said, do the circles first, then pick up the cup. Within 10 days, he called me and said, "Doctor, I picked up the cup with one hand this morning and did not spill a single drop." That moment meant everything to him. Not because of the tea, because it gave him back his confidence.
You know, doctor, conversations like this one make me think about something I came across a while back. It is called the Senior Body Reset After 60. I have to be honest, when I first found it, I was not expecting much, but it completely changed how I think about aging. It covers exactly what we talk about on this show: how to reset your body's natural rhythms after 60. Better sleep, stronger circulation, sharper memory, more energy throughout the day. And it does all of that through daily habits, not medications. No complicated routines. Just clear, practical steps backed by the same kind of medical thinking we explore in every episode. If you are someone who wants to take what you hear here and actually put it into action, this is a resource worth looking into. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Now, doctor, please continue.
Absolutely. And this is where everything changes. The first 2 exercises work on the muscles and joints of the hand and wrist. That is important. But tremor is not a muscle problem. Tremor is a nerve signal problem. If you only train the muscles and ignore the nerves, you are treating the symptom, but not the source. The third exercise is what I call the finger tap sequence. This one comes directly from Korean rehabilitation medicine, and it targets something called proprioceptive accuracy. That is your brain's ability to know exactly where your fingers are and to control them precisely. When you have a tremor, your proprioception has become degraded. The signal is fuzzy. This exercise sharpens it. A fascinating study published in the journal Movement Disorders examined finger tapping exercises in patients over 65 with essential tremor. After 6 weeks of daily practice, participants showed significant improvement in both dexterity and tremor control. The researchers noted that the exercise was activating the cerebellum, the part of the brain that coordinates fine motor movement. Here is how you do it. Hold both hands in front of you, fingers spread. Touch the tip of your index finger to the tip of your thumb. Then open your fingers wide. Now touch the tip of your middle finger to your thumb. Open wide. Ring finger to thumb. Open wide. Pinky to thumb. Open wide. Then reverse it. Pinky, ring, middle, index. That is one complete cycle. Do 5 cycles on each hand. The critical rule is this: go as slowly as you need to go to make every touch precise. Do not rush, do not skip. If your fingers miss the thumb, that is fine. Start again from that finger. Precision is more important than speed. I had a patient, a 76-year-old retired surgeon named Dr. Park from Seoul. He came to me because his hands shook so badly that he could no longer hold chopsticks. For a Korean man of his generation, that was deeply humiliating. He did not want medication, he wanted control. I taught him this finger tap sequence and told him to practice it every morning while watching the news. 6 weeks later, he came back to my office and demonstrated something remarkable. He picked up a single grain of rice with his chopsticks. He looked at me and said, "Dr. Lee, I am myself again." That is what this exercise can do when practiced consistently. Now, the 4th exercise. This is the one almost nobody knows about, and in my experience, it makes the single biggest difference of all 4. I call it the nerve wake-up press. This exercise does not target the hand at all. It targets the nerve pathway in the forearm. And this is where Korean medicine was centuries ahead of Western science. We always knew that the tremor in the fingers did not begin in the fingers. It began further up the chain. You see the median nerve and the ulnar nerve run through your forearm and into your hand. These are the nerves that carry the signal from your brain to your fingers. When these nerves are compressed or sluggish, the signal arrives distorted. That distortion shows up as tremor. A study published in the Journal of Neurophysiology demonstrated that gentle compression and release of the forearm nerve pathways improved nerve conduction velocity in elderly patients. In plain language, the electrical signal moved faster and cleaner from the brain to the hand. Here is how it works. Place your right forearm on a table, palm facing up. With the thumb of your left hand, press firmly into the center of your forearm, about 3 inches below your wrist. You should feel a slight tenderness there. That is exactly where the median nerve sits. Press and hold for 5 seconds, then release for 5 seconds. Press again. Do this 10 times. Then move your thumb about 1 inch toward the outside of your forearm. That is where the ulnar nerve runs. Press and hold for 5 seconds. Release for 5 seconds, 10 times. Then switch arms and repeat the entire sequence. You do this every morning after the other 3 exercises. I treated an 81-year-old retired pharmacist named Mr. Choi. His tremor was so severe that he could not count pills anymore. He said it made him feel like his career had meant nothing, because the skill he was most proud of was gone. I taught him all 4 exercises but told him to pay special attention to this one. 3 weeks later, he came to my office with a small bottle of vitamins. He opened the cap, poured the pills onto the table, and counted out exactly 7 pills without dropping a single one. He said, "Dr. Lee, these 4 exercises gave me back something I thought I had lost forever." And that is exactly what I want for everyone watching this today. These 4 exercises take less than 60 seconds each. You can do all 4 in under 5 minutes every morning. You do not need any equipment. You do not need to leave your chair. You just need to be consistent. Do them every single morning for 7 days and pay attention to how your hands feel when you pour your coffee, when you write your name, when you hold the hand of someone you love. The change will surprise you.
Doctor, I have to say this is one of the most practical episodes we have ever done. 4 exercises, under 5 minutes, no equipment, no medication, just your hands, your brain, and a little bit of consistency. Let me quickly recap them for everyone. Exercise 1, the controlled fist sequence where you squeeze and spread your fingers 10 times to rebuild grip strength. Exercise 2, the slow wrist circle, 10 circles each direction on each hand to stabilize the bridge between your arm and your fingers. Exercise 3, the finger tap sequence, touching each finger to your thumb in order and reverse to sharpen the brain to hand connection. And exercise 4, the nerve wake-up press, pressing gently on the forearm to wake up the median and ulnar nerves that carry the signal to your hands. All 4 done in sequence every single morning. I think the reason this resonates so much is because it gives people something they can actually do right now. Not tomorrow. Not after a doctor's appointment. Right now. Before you go, I want to say something directly to everyone watching. If your hands shake, it does not mean your body is giving up on you. It means your body is asking for help. And as Dr. Lee just showed us, the help does not have to be complicated. A tight fist held for 5 seconds. A slow circle of the wrist. A finger touching a thumb with intention. A gentle press on the forearm. That is it. That is the beginning of getting your steadiness back. If this episode helped you, please leave a comment below and tell us which exercise you are going to try first. I want to hear from you. Are you going to start with the fist sequence or go straight to the nerve press? I read every single comment, and it means the world to me to hear how these conversations are making a difference in your lives. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We release new videos every day at 8 in the morning, so you can start your day with the kind of knowledge that actually changes how you feel. Thank you for spending this time with us. Take care of your hands, take care of your body, and remember, small changes, lasting results. Let us grow old strong together. We will see you in the next episode.